What you'll discover about the CIA's hidden grip on the media will change the way you see every headline. In the early years of the Cold War, the United States was consumed by fear, not only of the Soviet Union's armies, but of its ideas. To the men running the CIA, words were more dangerous than bombs. They believed that if they could control information, they could control nations. And so, under the pretext of national security, the agency launched one of its most ambitious covert projects, a global media manipulation campaign that came to be known as Operation Mockingbird. The name, taken from the bird that mimics others' songs, symbolized the goal perfectly: to make the world's journalists repeat the CIA's message without ever realizing whose tune they were singing. At its core, Operation Mockingbird was a network of journalists, editors, publishers, and broadcasters who either cooperated with or were directly employed by the CIA. Some were willing participants, convinced they were serving freedom against communism. Others were manipulated, funded through shell organizations, or unknowingly fed approved stories from agency fronts. The plan began to form in the late 1940s as the U.S. intelligence community realized that military might alone could not win the Cold War. The real battle was for perception, hearts and minds. Propaganda became policy, and the press became the battlefield. Within a decade, the operation had spread to over 25 major news organizations worldwide. Influential journalists, some later honored as icons of free speech, were quietly collaborating with intelligence officers. They provided cover for agents abroad, spread disinformation, and even helped justify coups, invasions, and political assassinations. One of the CIA's early strategies was to fund cultural and journalistic organizations that appeared independent. Literary magazines, student movements, academic conferences, and even radio stations became subtle propaganda tools. The agency's aim was to shape the tone of public debate, to make anti-communist and pro-American narratives seem natural, not planted. Through these covert networks, stories critical of U.S. foreign policy were buried, rewritten, or silenced entirely. Meanwhile, articles that portrayed the Soviet bloc, Arab nationalism, or revolutionary movements as threats were given massive visibility. This was not mere influence. It was information warfare.